Hi, Gene Burnett from geneburnett.com. Hey, I thought we'd talk a little bit today about improving balance in kicking and also in any of the movements in the form where you're on one leg. This is strictly a temple work kind of tip here today. I'm not talking about how to kick a heavy bag or how to kick a person in sparring or in real life. This is about training balance attributes, not about necessarily training a combat-ready kick against a moving target that's trying to kick you or trying to hit you. This is just about, you're in the temple, you're developing things like proper postural alignment and proper balance and a good distribution of work so that no one part of your body works too much. I'm having some odd light issues because the sun, I think, is filtering through clouds out there, so you're going to get some light effects today. Especially when I move around, it has some effect on my camera for some reason. Oh, it's my chi, man. Anyway, so this is, developing leg strength, good alignment, posture, kinetic chain, sequencing, all stuff that's very helpful in delivering real kicks, but you got to practice it at that level of intensity if you want it to be ready for you at that level of intensity. Just practicing kicks in the temple is not going to prepare you for kicking. Well, maybe it prepares, but it doesn't enable you to kick for real in a fight. So what I do as I approach a one-leg balance movement is two things. One is I think of my foot like a palm on the ground, like I feel my foot on the ground, and I pay attention to the surface contact. How does that feel? Am I leaning to one side or another or forward or back? I want to feel it just like it's a palm on the ground, or at least it's like my palm on the ground, like I was getting ready to do a handstand. So our hands are so sensitive. We're going to try to feel that in the feet, or I want to feel that in my feet. And the other thing is I want to really make sure that I am over my stuff, that I'm not forward out here a little bit or back or to the side or undertucked or overtucked. I want to make sure that I feel like the barrel of my cylinder or the barrel of my core is sitting on the spring of my leg, and then the ropes of my arms or snakes of my arms can move off that barrel, right? They can move off the barrel, but the barrel has to sit over my foot. It can't be tilted or off some way. At least for this type of work. And there are other balance things you can do that are more trickier, but for basic balance work, you've got to be over your stuff. You don't want to be like out here. So this trains you in a good alignment, good posture, good bodily connections, good kinetic chains. And then, of course, in real life, if you were really kicking or just living your life and doing things with your hands and your feet, well, of course your posture is going to distort. You can't keep perfect posture all the time. Posture is for stillness. It's for when you're training. It's for being in the temple. When you're out in the world, you're going to vary that. But hopefully when the movement of life stops a little bit, you'll hopefully return back to a good posture, just the way a flame does. A flame distorts when it's in motion, and the minute it stops, it comes right back to neutral again. So that's what I try to develop in my body. I don't want the flame to distort unnecessarily when it's moving. I only want it to distort as much as it needs to. If I'm going to reach for this pillow, I'm not going to go, I'm just going to reach for the pillow. And then when I'm back here, then I'm going to find my neutral. I'm not going to try to enforce neutral or any postural idea on movement, because movement needs to roll. Yoga, you can do that because it's one frame in the movie, but once that movie's rolling, you can't. At least I've never met anybody who could just I don't think it's a good idea. You're enforcing an idea on a dynamic system. So enforce the idea when you're still. Then in motion, do what you do. And then in stillness, correct. So here's what I do when I'm going to do, say, a movement like Golden Rooster on one leg. So your form, you probably do it different. You're probably going to say, oh, that's not really the right one. But this isn't about my form, your form, correct form, incorrect form, who's got the true lineage or any of that stuff. What this is about is just a practice tip for how you can practice your version, even if you think my version is full of shit. So arrive on my front foot here, And instead of thinking, I'm going to lift my leg, like I've done like a snake creeps down type movement. I don't have much room here, but like from here, I'm not thinking I'm just going to lift my leg or lift it up from back here. The lifter, the elevator, is this front leg. So when I arrive on that leg, I want to feel my foot as like a palm on the ground with vertical pressure on it, this way. And then I want to get over that. I want myself over that spring so that this can lift this. This leg lifts that one, see? There. And I can do this all day long, right? So instead of just getting there and hoping I stuck the balance, which I didn't, I want to get there, feel that foot firmly on the ground, make sure I'm over my stuff here, and then lift from there. Now, if you belong to a style that won't let you straighten that leg, that won't let you go up and down, well, you can do this again. You can do it without the elevator, but you can get here, and then you can lift this, if you're lifting this part all by itself. But I don't recommend it, and I don't like it. The power should come from the ground. The energy is rooted in the foot, powered by the leg, directed by the core, expressed by the hands, right? So that includes this kind of movement. I don't see how you can obey that principle and stay at the same height. It doesn't make any sense to me, but a lot of people do it and get value out of it, so I'm not saying it's wrong. It just doesn't suit my practice goals. So let's say I'm going to do a kick. So if I say I'm going to do what we would call a separation of leg kick, which is like a rotating toe kick or top of the foot kick. From here, instead of coming up and thinking about kicking, right? Coming up here and going kick, I want to slow that down. I want to arrive here, feel my foot on the ground, and I tip my weight over here, so now I'm over my foot. And when I feel that, I'm over that leg. See, I can do this all day long, right? And then from there, the kick opens out to where it goes, and then it comes back. And I can still do this all day long. If it's a heel kick, here, I'm not just throwing this up and kicking, and I'm not even just doing it slow. I'm making sure that my foot contact with the ground is really smooth and even. And I make sure that I am over that I'm directly over my leg. And the pressure is even on my foot, not this way. There first. Then from there, I lift and sit. And from there, I rise and kick. Right? And I can do that all day long if I get that one point in there. Make sure that I'm over that leg. So even a little bit of a faster kick, for instance, we have our high kick, which I just did a video talking about this in my Drill What You Dread video, because this is not a kick that I've always liked or had a good time with. But when I come here to do this, instead of thinking kick my foot, right, I'm punching here, I'm coming back, and when I come around, place that foot on the ground, feel that contact like a paw on the ground, make sure I am over that. Then this comes up, then the kick comes off that, right? So let me do that a little slower. So I'm going back, turning, making sure I'm over my foot, kick comes from there. And I can do that again, and I can hang out there. I'm not, ugh. You know, so whatever the movement is, even if it's faster, like sometimes I play around with this, not sometimes, almost daily. I love the ginga from capoeira. I don't do capoeira, I just do the ginga. I just do this move, and sometimes I throw in I do it kind of Tai Chi style. I try to do it smooth and even with attention to posture and breathing and stuff. But when I decided to throw some heel kicks into this, so I throw a kick in and then I come back, and I'm just going back and forth like that. And I can just kind of do that if I just do one or two kicks. But if I start doing multiple kicks, like if I want to do one on each leg, then two on each leg, then three on each leg, then four on each leg, so for a total of 10, or do 10 in a row, any little flaws and like imbalances in there just start to compound each other, because those things get weaker because the stress isn't in the right place. I can do it once, but twice, 3, 4, 5. Repetition is where your shit shows up, right? So when I'm doing this, let's say I'm going to do 5 in a row on my left foot. So I come here, I make sure I am over that leg, kick. Over that leg, kick. And I keep making sure that my foot contact is even. I'm not leaning forward, I'm over that leg, right? So that this rise here powers that kick there. So rise, kick, rise, kick, rise, kick, right? And the foot placement and the torso placement over that foot makes everything else so much easier, so much easier. And I'm not just sort of hurling or skipping through that stuff. I'm really paying attention to it. And again, I'm not saying that in a real encounter I would feel my foot on the ground and then rise and do all this stuff. In a real encounter, you do whatever you have to do. I've never kicked anybody, so I don't expect to be able to do it easily, and I would not be doing any of these kicks. Although, I gotta say, this is one of the most useful kicks in terms of everyday self-defense that I've come up with. I like the little pendulum kick for the shin or something, but I really like boom, right straight ahead. And if you do hundreds of those, like I do, it's a lot stronger, and it's not something that you just know how to do. It's something that you do regularly, so it's just in your system. You don't have to think about it. So under pressure, it's more likely to show up. But even when I do that, like if I just wanted to just kind of have my guard up and just think kick, kick, kick. If I keep doing that, I'll start to feel where I'm off. And I'll get weaker and I'll get tired, or my kick will get less accurate. And so that's a good place. Like when that's happening, you think, okay, how's my foot contact? Am I over my leg? Am I over this foot? Am I over this foot? Is my body over that? And if it is, then the only thing I have to worry about is my thigh muscle getting tired. It'll eventually get exhausted. But if I've got even just one or two little things that are kind of there, kind of there, kind of there, it's like pretty soon I'm tired, and pretty soon my little stabilizer muscles get exhausted, because you don't need your stabilizers should just be tweaking what you're doing, not the main course. So again, if I get myself over that leg, 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 this is powering that. So I recommend it for any of the kicks in the Tai Chi form. Feel your foot on the ground. Make sure you're over your stuff, which for me usually means lift your chest a little bit and relax the low back a little bit. Engage the core, bring the arms up, but keep your elbows down, and boom. And it's much easier that way. So feet like palms. Make sure you're over your stuff before you lift and do your move. And I can't imagine your kicks won't get better, no matter how good you are already. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I make these videos to be helpful. There's no commercials on my channel. I do have a donation jar at my website, GeneBurnett.com, and below in the descriptions of my videos. But I'm mainly doing this to be helpful. So if it is helpful, let me know. It's always nice to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your practice.